Season 2 of Demon Slayer recently ended, in which a new Hashira takes center stage. The sound Hashira Tengen leads Tanjiro and the crew on a suicidal adventure through a red light district where they pose as teenage girls in brothels. But in this video, our focus isn't on Tanjiro. Instead, we're going to be talking about Tengen. Tengen's character is largely centered around rejecting family ideologies and carving out a personal self, while being as flashy and badass during the process as possible. I'll go into detail of Tengen's history, his personal values, and his development throughout the story. So if you're interested on why Tengen is the way he is, what he lives for, and what he ends up doing in his retirement, then keep watching, because that's exactly what's to come. Our first interaction with the Sound Hashira is at Tanjiro's trial, but this isn't where his story begins. Tengen is one of 9 siblings who are all trained by their father as shinobi for their clan. Of those 9, 3 would die by the time Tengen reached the age of 10 due to extreme training. If that wasn't enough, their father later had them fight each other to the death without them knowing they were fighting their masked siblings. At the time, Tengen didn't realize this deception until it was too late, and he had killed 2 of his brothers. By the time he reached 15, only he and his little brother remained. While Tengen thought his father's ideologies were wrong, his brother felt different. He felt no remorse for killing his siblings in battle. He even adopted his father's mindset that innocent lives were disposable, wives were solely for producing offspring, and the mission comes before all else. Disturbed by his brother's words, Tengen leaves the village with his 3 wives. Yes, there are 3 of them. The Uzui family holds the belief of polygamy, which fits well with their perception of wives. Tengen's wives were chosen for him by the head of the shinobi clan, but he still cares deeply for all 3 of them. His wives are all kunoichi, which are female ninjas, and were taught the same ideologies that Tengen struggles with as they grew up. Because Tengen rejected the ideas that his father ingrained in him, he taught his wives to put their own lives and others above their mission at all times. Okay, so back to the departure from the village. After leaving the clan, Tengen agonized over whether or not he should have destroyed the Uzui shinobi clan, but he couldn't bring himself to kill his father and brother, so he has to go on living knowing that his family's warped ideologies will continue to be passed on because of his weakness. The trauma that Tengen experienced as a kid shaped him into who he would later become. We all know the flashy, charismatic personality that he carries on the surface, but only the ones truly close to him see his kind and compassionate side. Tengen and his wives would later seek out the Demon Slayer Corps, which he would join and eventually become a Hashira, which is where we'll find him during his first appearance in the show. Tengen's initial reaction to Tanjiro's situation was to cut off his head, in a real flashy way, I might add. Even after Kaguya expresses that Nezuko and Tanjiro will be left as is, Tengen still expresses his rejection to the idea. While it's not super clear why he might feel this way, it's safe to say that it's mainly just due to the fact that demons are the enemy of the corpse, and it makes no sense why the Demon Slayer Corpse wouldn't slay a demon. We talked earlier about how Tengen's personal mission is to preserve the lives of his wife, comrades, and innocents, and this lines up well with the objectives of the Demon Slayer Corpse. Leaving Nezuko alive means risking the chance that she may one day kill a human. But with Gyu, Sakonji, and Kaguya backing up the siblings, and Nezuko's mental resistance to the demon bloodlust, Tengen and the other disagreeing Hashira are outmatched. Tengen's main act doesn't come till later in the Entertainment District arc, where he takes Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke on a mission to investigate the disappearance of his wives. Obviously, for those of you who have watched the show, know that his wives were taken by Daki, the Upper Moon 6, but turns out that Daki has a big brother named Gyutaro, and the 2 of them are interconnected, making the Upper Moon 6 not just a single demon, but a pair. Tengen helps Tanjiro confront Daki and Gyutaro after saving his captive wives. The following fight between Tengen and Gyutaro rivals Goku and Akaza in both beauty and scale. During so, Tengen must not only battle Gyutaro, but also the poison that is slowly spreading through his body. You definitely get to see some of his shinobi training coming out, from his poison resistance to his usage of distractions to draw the attention away from his main attacks. We even get to see the classic heart stop trick, in which I'm sure all of you are wondering how the hell Tanjiro was getting out of this scenario alive. After the group has one final bout with the demons, it seems that Tengen's death is imminent. But to his rescue, Nezuko uses her blood demon art to burn the poison out of his system, saving his life. As his wives rejoice, Tengen announces his retirement to Obani, who arrives way too fucking late to be any help. The battle has left Tengen without a hand, but he's accomplished a challenging feat of slaying an Upper Moon. And so, to end this arc, we get to see Tengen walk off into the sun to begin a well-deserved retirement. Throughout this arc, we see Tengen start to open up more to Tanjiro and crew, as they are a prime reason that he's able to successfully save his wives and defeat Upper Moon 6. The one Tengen is extremely impressed with is Tanjiro Tanjiro, who he hints to Obani that the trainee he hates so much will be able to fill the gap that Tengen will leave in his retirement. For those of you who have only watched the anime, you may be wondering if this is the last time you'll see Tengen the Sound Hashira. And the answer to that is no. During the Hashira training arc, Tengen oversees the first level of training, which is basic stamina. His appearance is very short, and so is Tanjiro's stay, which is only 10 days before he's past the first level. He's also seen again later on in the Infinity Castle arc, where he and Shinjiro, Rengoku's father, guard the surviving Ubuyaki who are mapping out the fortress. While these appearances are minor and not as important as the development he had in the entertainment district, I think it's nice to see him and his wives enjoying themselves after his climax. Tengen's development showed the effect that your family ideologies can have on you. Even if you reject them, they will still find a way in your conscience. We see this in his wives too, as he tries to change their view that the mission comes before their own lives. Even after accepting his request, we see them struggle to come to terms with the idea. It's safe to assume that he went through similar feelings initially. Tengen's flashy and eccentric persona is the exact opposite of what you might expect out of a former shinobi, which he probably adopted in spite of his clan and their teachings, wanting to separate himself from their methods and ideals, so he could carve out a person of his own in himself. His boastful exterior covers up his more sensitive and kind interior that is mostly only known by his wives and a little with Tanjiro later on. Another thing that's worth mentioning is that Tengen feels inferior to the other Hashira, stating that he doesn't harbor the talent like the others and can never be as great as Kyojiro. He always regrets the lives of those he could not save and carries these burdens throughout his life, fueling his corp's mission to slay the demons and protect the innocent. Kaguya has praised Tengen for the hard path that he's chosen, and despite all of the conflicts he harbors inside himself, he chose to face forward and fight to protect the human race. And so, by the time Tengen retires, he can leave with a smile on his face, knowing that he has completed a feat not done in 100 years. Well, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Go ahead and check out the rest of the content on my channel. And if you're new here, be sure to subscribe. I publish every Friday, most of the time. Thanks again for watching this video, and I'll see you next week.